Hey, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to Darwin's Room. Today we're going to have a review of Sonic the Hedgehog. I got the chance to watch this maybe a month or so ago now, and I wrote a review for it. I never did a podcast on it or anything, but I'm here to do a review now. And basically, it's a pretty simple story. It follows Sonic as he is trying to lay low on Earth, but when there is a trace of his energy to be found, the military sends Dr. Robotnik out to go find what caused this surge of energy. And Sonic has to team up with a local officer of a small town to go and get his rings that he had misplaced. And the two team up together as they have Dr. Robotnik out to get them. And that's really it in a nutshell. It's, a video game adaptation. Now, I was really interested in seeing this movie. I wasn't necessarily super excited about it, but I did like the Sonic games when I was a little kid. So naturally, I wanted to see what it was going to turn out to be. Especially with video game adaptations, they don't always turn out the best, per se. I think, as of right now, my favorite one might be Detective Pikachu because it was just good. It was enjoyable. It wasn't amazing, but it was enjoyable. And yeah, so let's see if Sonic is better. I don't know, I'm still struggling with that. I have to think about it, honestly, a little bit more, but I do really enjoy Sonic, and I thought it was really good. My favorite part about this movie, hands down, has to be James Marsden and Ben Schwartz. They have such a good relationship together in this movie. I love the chemistry between the local officer and Sonic as they're driving together, basically on this road trip to go and get Sonic's rings. I thought it was really, really great, and it just made the movie feel a lot more fun. Now, not every aspect of the movie is funny. I guess, I laughed a lot in this movie, and I gotta say I did have a really good time with it, because I found myself to be laughing or smiling throughout the majority of the film. However, there are some jokes that they just didn't land for me, they just didn't stick, it didn't work. But I kind of take that with a grain of salt because you got to remember, at the end of the day, this is a children's movie and it is geared towards that crowd. But it does also have a surprising amount of humor for adults as well. So I really like how it was just kind of humor for the whole family, and so it just made it much more enjoyable. And now, some people I've heard complain the villain doesn't have much to them and just not very well fleshed out. And I kind of don't understand that necessarily, because what more do you want from a character like Dr. Robotnik, and what more do you want from a movie about a video game that gives you just about as much context as the movie does? It just didn't make sense. So I like Dr. Robotnik. I thought Jim Carrey portrayed him really well. It was good to see Jim Carrey play a really fun and crazy role like he did in The Mask. It was just good to see him back in his roots like that, because we haven't really seen him in movies very much in a long time. I don't even think I can remember the last movie that I saw him in. It might have been Yes Man, but it might be more recent than that too. I don't know, but at the end of the day, it was really good to see Jim Carrey again. And as far as any negatives, nothing, really. Aside from, of course, not all of the jokes really worked, and it is very formulaic at times. It, just as any other kids movie is most of the time. Not all kids movies, but it does follow some formula beats. But what I loved is that you can tell they cared about the movie they were making. Of course, you could tell that right away because they had to scratch their whole original sketch for Sonic and they redid it to please the fans. So I do enjoy that they really cared enough that they were going to be delivering their final product, and that they wanted it to be as truthful as possible to the material that they were going off of. So I do really love that you can see the passion that they had for this project, and it never goes away throughout the entire movie. They had a fun time. One thing that I will say is I always wonder how it is for an actor to act and be talking to something that isn't actually there. Because there are moments in this movie where you kind of just realize Sonic is a CGI character, and that James Marsden is literally talking to the air and high-fiving the air. And you can definitely tell at certain points, and it just kind of takes you out of the movie just a little bit, and you just kind of notice it. And another movie that this happened with was Ted, both Ted 1 and Ted 2 with Mark Wahlberg. You just can't help but think he's talking to literally just a little fluffy teddy bear or the air for CGI. And you know, they did all their special effects later. And it's just kind of, I feel like it takes a pretty decent actor to be able to do that and take yourself seriously. Because there are moments where you know, they're having more serious discussions, and it's just incredible to think they are talking to the air right now. They are not talking to anything in that particular moment. So I applaud James Marsden for that. I applaud them all for that. It was really, really good. I had a blast with this movie. I wouldn't, you know, go into it thinking too much. I wouldn't think that you're going to get some sort of an Oscar nominee for Best Animated Film. It's not even animated. Why did I say that? I don't know. Scratch that. But have fun with this movie. It's a really cool portrayal of Sonic, and I think that you guys will enjoy it if given the chance. And at the end, I'm going to rate Sonic the Hedgehog 3.5 out of 5 stars, you guys. Thanks again so much for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes. Take care.